David is 34 years old and makes $120,000 a year, but he still checks his bank account 3 times a day with the same anxiety he felt as a 7-year-old watching his parents fight about money. He doesn't understand why he can't enjoy his success, why every purchase feels dangerous, why he hoards money like he's preparing for disaster. What David doesn't realize is that his financial destiny was programmed when he was 7 years old, standing at the top of the stairs in his pajamas, listening to his parents scream about a $200 electric bill. That single moment created a money memory that has been controlling his financial decisions for 27 years. And here's the shocking part. David's not alone. Your first significant financial experience, whether you remember it or not, is still running your financial life today. It's determining how much you earn, how much you save, how much you spend, and how much you allow yourself to have. Right now, as you're watching this, there's a financial program running in your subconscious that was installed when you were between 3 and 7 years old. This program is either making you wealthy or keeping you broke. It's either expanding your financial possibilities or limiting them. And until you identify this program and consciously reprogram it, you'll keep creating the same financial results, no matter how hard you work or how much you learn about money. Today, I'm going to show you how to find your money memory, understand how it's been controlling your financial life, and reprogram it to serve your wealth instead of sabotage it. Because your financial future isn't determined by your income, your education, or your circumstances. It's determined by a memory you probably haven't thought about in decades. Your relationship with money was not formed by reading books about finance or taking economics classes. It was formed by watching the adults in your life interact with money when you were too young to consciously understand what was happening. Between the ages of 3 and 7, your brain was in a state that neuroscientists call theta consciousness, a hypnotic state where you absorbed everything around you without filtering or questioning. Every emotion your parents felt about money became your emotion about money. Every belief they demonstrated about wealth became your belief about wealth. Every pattern they exhibited around financial decisions became your pattern around financial decisions. You didn't learn about money, you absorbed an entire financial operating system, and that operating system is still running your financial life today. Let me tell you about Maria. She's now a successful doctor earning $300,000 a year, but she still shops at thrift stores and clips coupons compulsively. She can't explain why she feels guilty spending money on herself, why she always expects financial disaster, why abundance feels dangerous. Her money memory was formed when she was 5 years old. Her immigrant parents worked 3 jobs each, and every conversation in the house was about not having enough. Money doesn't grow on trees. We can't afford that. Rich people are greedy. You have to work twice as hard to get half as much. Maria's parents weren't trying to limit her financial future. They were trying to teach her to be responsible, grateful, hardworking. But a 5-year-old brain doesn't understand nuance. It just absorbs the emotional charge around money, fear, scarcity, struggle, and the belief that wanting more makes you bad. Now, 30 years later, Maria unconsciously sabotages her own financial success because her money memory tells her that having too much makes her selfish, that spending on herself is wrong, that disaster is always around the corner. Type 1. The scarcity imprint. Your earliest memory involves not having enough money for something important. Maybe your family couldn't afford Christmas presents, or you had to move because of financial problems, or you watched your parents stress about bills. This creates a financial operating system based on lack, limitation, and fear. As an adult, you hoard money, feel guilty about spending, and always expect financial crisis. Type 2. The shame programming. Your earliest memory involves feeling embarrassed about money. Maybe you wore hand-me-down clothes to school, or your family received financial help from others, or you were made to feel bad about wanting things your family couldn't afford. This creates a financial operating system where money equals worthiness. You either chase wealth to prove your value, or you reject wealth because you feel undeserving. Type 3. The conflict conditioning. Your earliest memory involves adults fighting about money. Arguments, stress, tension, maybe even divorce caused by financial problems. This creates a financial operating system where money equals danger. You unconsciously avoid financial success because your brain associates money with conflict and pain. Type 4. The guilt installation. Your earliest memory involves being told that wanting money makes you bad, that rich people are evil, that caring about wealth is shallow or wrong. This creates a financial operating system where success equals selfishness. You unconsciously limit your income because making too much money feels morally wrong. Type 5. The instability experience. Your earliest memory involves dramatic financial changes, going from having money to losing it or watching someone else experience financial ruin. This creates a financial operating system where security is impossible. You believe that any financial success is temporary, that disaster is always coming, that you can't trust abundance. Your money memory doesn't just influence how you feel about money. It actively controls your financial decisions in ways you don't even realize. The unconscious income ceiling take. James. His money memory was formed when he was 6 years old and his father lost his job. He watched his confident, successful dad become depressed, anxious, and angry. The family lost their house, had to move in with relatives, and James learned that financial success is fragile and dangerous. Now James is 38 and has never earned more than $60,000 a year, despite having skills worth much more. Every time he gets close to a promotion or higher-paying opportunity, he unconsciously sabotages it. He shows up late to important meetings, makes careless mistakes on crucial projects, or turns down opportunities that would increase his income. James thinks he's just unlucky or not smart enough for bigger success. But his money memory is protecting him from the danger of financial success by keeping him at a safe, familiar income level. Your money memory creates an unconscious income ceiling, a financial level beyond which you feel unsafe, unworthy, or uncomfortable. Most people never break through this ceiling because they don't even know it exists. The spending sabotage pattern. Remember Maria, the doctor who shops at thrift stores. Her money memory doesn't just limit her earning, it limits her enjoying. Every time she has extra money, she finds ways to get rid of it quickly. Emergency repairs, unexpected expenses, family members who suddenly need help. It's not coincidence, it's unconscious programming. Her money memory tells her that having too much money is dangerous, so her subconscious creates situations that bring her back to her safe financial level. The investment avoidance system. People with conflict-based money memories often avoid investing entirely. Stock market feels like gambling. Real estate feels risky. Starting a business feels dangerous. They keep their money in savings accounts earning 1% because anything else triggers their money memory's warning system. They think they're being responsible, but they're actually being controlled by a 40-year-old childhood memory. The success guilt complex. People with guilt-based money memories unconsciously limit their financial success because making too much money feels wrong. They undercharge for their services, don't negotiate salaries, give away their profits, or choose careers that pay less because they feel more noble. They've confused poverty with virtue, struggle with righteousness, limitation with goodness. Most people can't consciously remember their first significant financial experience because it happened before their explicit memory system was fully developed. But the emotional memory is still there, still active, still controlling their financial decisions. Here's how to excavate your money memory. Step 1. The emotional archaeology. Close your eyes and think about money, not budgets or investments or financial strategies, just the concept of money itself. What emotion comes up immediately? Anxiety, Guilt, fear, excitement, anger. That immediate emotional response is your money memory speaking. It's the residual charge from your first financial experience. Step 2. The family financial reconstruction. What was the financial atmosphere in your childhood home? Not the facts about your family's income, but the emotional energy around money. Was it stressful or peaceful? Shameful or proud? Secretive or open? Fearful or confident? Think about dinner table conversations. What happened when money was mentioned? How did your parents talk about wealthy people, about poor people, about their own financial situation? Step 3. The first memory investigation. What's your earliest memory involving money? Maybe buying something at a store, finding money, losing money, wanting something you couldn't have, or overhearing adult conversations about finances. Don't worry if you can't remember the exact details. Focus on the emotional experience. How did it feel? What did you learn about money? From that experience, what conclusion did your young mind draw about wealth, worth, and financial security? Step 4. The pattern recognition. Look at your current financial patterns and trace them back to your money memory. If you hoard money, what early experience taught you that not having money was dangerous? If you spend compulsively, what early experience taught you that having money was temporary? If you avoid financial risk, what early experience taught you that money was associated with conflict or loss? Your current financial behaviors are logical responses to your money memory, even if they're not logical responses to your current reality. The money memory revelation. Let me tell you about Tom, successful entrepreneur, built and sold 2 companies, millionaire on paper, but he lives in a modest apartment, drives a 15-year-old car, and won't spend money on anything he considers unnecessary. When Tom did this excavation process, he remembered being 4 years old when his grandfather lost everything in a bad business deal. He watched his hero go from wealthy to broke overnight. Tom's money memory installed the program. Wealth is temporary. Spending is dangerous. The only safe amount of money is more money. Now Tom hoards wealth, not because he's smart about money, but because he's terrified of repeating his grandfather's experience. His money memory won't let him enjoy the success he's created. Lisa's discovery. Lisa struggled with the opposite problem. She couldn't save money. Every time she accumulated any significant amount, she'd find reasons to spend it. New clothes, vacations, helping friends, spontaneous purchases. Her money memory excavation revealed that when she was 6, her parents divorced in a bitter fight over money. She learned that having money led to fighting, that caring about wealth destroyed love, that financial success came at the cost of relationships. So Lisa's subconscious protects her from the danger of wealth by ensuring she never accumulates enough to trigger conflict. Once you've identified your money memory, you can begin the reprogramming process. This isn't about positive thinking or affirmations. This is about installing new financial programming at the subconscious level. Phase 1, the memory dialogue, days 1 to 7. Have a conversation with your younger self who experienced that original money memory. What would you tell that child now? What would you want them to understand about money that they couldn't understand then? David, from our opening story, realized he would tell his 7-year-old self, Mom and Dad fighting about money doesn't mean money is bad. It means they were stressed and didn't know how to communicate. Money itself is neutral. It's a tool that can create security and peace when handled consciously. Phase 2. The reality update. Days 8 to 14. Consciously remind yourself that your current financial reality is different from your childhood financial reality. You have different knowledge, different skills, different options, different resources. The dangers your money memory is protecting you from may have been real when you were 5, but they're not real now that you're 35. Phase 3. The new association creation. Days 15 to 21. Create new positive experiences with money that contradict your money memory. If your memory says money is scarce, practice generous giving. If your memory says money is dangerous, practice conscious spending on things that bring joy. If your memory says money corrupts, practice using money to help others. You're not trying to erase the old memory. You're creating new evidence that money can be a force for good in your life. Phase 4. The Future Financial Identity. Days 22 to 30. Start thinking about money from the perspective of who you're becoming, not who you've been. What would a financially free version of yourself think about money? How would they make financial decisions? What relationship would they have with wealth? Start making financial choices from that future identity instead of your past conditioning. The transformation results. After 6 months of reprogramming, David's relationship with money completely changed. He stopped checking his bank account obsessively. He started investing in growth opportunities instead of just saving out of fear. He gave himself permission to enjoy his success instead of just surviving it. Maria began spending money on herself without guilt. She hired help for tasks she didn't enjoy. She bought quality things instead of always choosing the cheapest option. She started building wealth instead of just avoiding poverty. Tom learned to enjoy his success. He moved to a beautiful home, started taking vacations, began using his wealth to create experiences and memories instead of just accumulating more security. Your money memory homework. Tonight, I want you to do the money memory. Excavation. Find that first financial experience that shaped your relationship with wealth. Understand how it's been controlling your financial decisions. Then begin the 30-day reprogramming protocol. Your financial future is not determined by your current income, your past mistakes, or your family background. It's determined by the financial programming running in your subconscious mind, and that programming can be changed. What's your money memory? And more importantly, what are you going to do about it? Your wealth is waiting for you to remember where you learned to limit it. Then forget those limitations and remember your power to create abundance. The little child who formed your money memory was doing their best to understand a complex world, but you're not that child anymore. You have the power to rewrite the financial story that child created. What story will you choose?